Never racist. I have no prior history of any racist behavior.
You ain't funny. That's not true. Maybe you're just boring as fuck.
Never racist.
So it pains me to make this video, especially calling out my queen Pokimane, but sometimes you have to call out the ones you love. And in this situation, I have to call out my queen Pokimane, even though I'm a tier 3 simp. And I've been subscribed to Pokimane since like 2010, back when she was doing these kind of live streams.
You ain't funny.
In my opinion, peak Poki. But yesterday, Pokimane decided to put out a pretty interesting statement on Twitch. I mean, this has 2 million views in about a day, so you know it got clipped. But let me set the context for y'all. So Pokimane decided to speak out on how women get treated in gaming. As you would assume, because Sans is talking about it, she legitimately had one of the stupidest takes I've seen in a minute. It feels like every 2 weeks, Pokimane goes live and says something so retarded that makes you think, yo, is Pokimane like retarded or something? Anyways, let's just play it.
Earlier today, I did this random little TikTok where I was talking about how, hear me out.
Okay.
Do you guys remember like 10, 15 years ago? I feel like 10, 15 years ago, if you were a girl gaming online, people were actually so nice to you. Like so nice. They treated you so well. They would like gift you free stuff, all this stuff. Do you guys remember?
That shit did not happen. Top 20 things that have never happened in the history of the universe. 10 to 15 years ago, I was a kid, okay? I remember playing Halo 3. I remember playing MW2, Black Ops 1, and all these other fun games on the 360. And people would call me all sorts of things. They would call me a squeaker. Dozens of people have said that they were gonna fight me and kill me, and they fucked my mom. And apparently 30 guys on Xbox Live have fucked my mom. Not to flex, but I've been the gamer for a minute now. I know, ladies, calm down. Yes, Sense is a gamer. And 10 to 15 years ago, if you were a woman, and how do I know this? Because I've heard it firsthand. If you were a woman and you had a microphone during Halo or Call of Duty, they would legitimately call you everything under the sun and some more. They would tell you to go back to the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Now, granted, that still happens to this day, but 10 to 15 years ago, when it was peak toxic chats, toxic parties were at an all-time peak. The second you let it be known you were a girl, the amount of hate you would get would be insane, right? 10 to 15 years ago. Do we still have that in the Big 26? Yes, but I think people are a lot more accepting. They're not as insane as they were back in the 360 PS3 days. Back then, it was ruthless. Everyone said whatever the fuck they wanted to say. Shit was crazy back in the day. Shit was worse back in the day. It's a lot better now, and I don't know where she's coming from where, yeah, guys would buy you games. They would get you stuff. It's like, that has been a thing for millions of years. There's always going to be people that are down bad for a hot female streamer that will gift them a few games or a PC or I don't know, whatever the fuck people give to hot girls. Sometimes I think Pokimane hate is blown out of proportion. Sometimes I'm like, this girl just does it to herself. No, gaming was not better for women 10 to 15 years ago. It was worse. But truth be told, it was horrible for anyone. It was horrible if you were a little kid like myself. It was horrible if you were black. You could imagine what was said on 360 PS3. If anyone thinks that gaming right now is worse than back in the day, you did not game back in the day, and you have no idea what you're talking about. 10 to 15 years ago was a fucking war zone. I have no idea what the fuck Pokimane is talking about here, but I'll let her continue.
10, 15 years ago, if you were a girl gaming online, people were actually so nice to you. Like so nice. They treated you so well. They would like gift you free stuff, all this stuff. Do you guys remember? But nowadays, I feel like girls are a little bit scared to game online or to use their mic or whatever. Mac, thank you for subbing. I just like, sometimes I think about these days and I'm like, I'm not hallucinating that, right? But that's the thing, it makes me sad for maybe like younger women who just got into gaming and they think that this is just how it's been all the time. But that's not so much the case, I don't think.
I might not be a girl gamer, but as someone that still, even though I'm unk, as someone that still plays Halo, Call of Duty every now and then, Fortnite, the whole women in gaming situation has definitely calmed down. They've always been accepted. It's not like, you know, we were like, no girl gamers allowed. If you're a girl, you cannot join my clan. Like, I'm sure there's people that existed like that, which are hella cringe. Most of the guys were pretty chill. And I think a lot of people forget that back in the 360 PS3 days, a lot of us were just fucking around. We were trolling. We were being edgy. 10 seconds later, we would be talking and, you know, saying, let's keep going. Let's have another match. Let me at you. It was never meant to like discourage you from gaming or push away women. It's just that guys back in the day were a lot more, how do I say this? Like, they weren't as chill as they are now. They just didn't care, and it did not matter if you were a girl or you were a guy, or if you were a girl or you were a little kid like I was. Everyone got it equally. Once again, I was like 5, 6 years old, having grown-ass men telling me that they were gonna come and have sex with my mom, and I got your address, little bro, and, you know, all these other things. Just trash talk. We're just shit talking. It truly was not that deep. Gaming for women was worse 10 to 15 years ago. The best it's ever been is right now. Once again, I have no idea what reality Pokimane is in. Yeah, she's wrong. Again, shocking. I know.
Don't get me wrong. There's always been some issues in relation to misogyny, but at one point it didn't feel so bad. Do you guys think we have regressed as a community? Ah, yes, rage baiting. I do feel though that there's been rage bait for so long that I'm like tired a little bit, like I'm numb. I actually don't get baited as much because everybody knows that there's rage bait. Do you get what I mean? But I also think that that's unhealthy because it leads to a level of like apathy. Like, we just don't care. Like, we hear bad things and we don't care because we've been rage baited so much that we're just numb. We're like, whatever. I don't even know if that's true or not. DGAF.
I just thought about this as I'm watching Queen Poki talk. There's grown-ass men who sit there for hours watching Pokimane talk about whatever the fuck Pokimane talks about on the stream. The video is 2 minutes long and I'm like, okay, I've had enough of Poki. But I'm like, how down bad do you need to be in order to give Poki, a multi-millionaire, your money and your time when she legitimately says the stupidest shit ever? At that point, if you want to hear someone say stupid shit, just watch me and give me your money. Once again, Pokimane with the stupidest take of the month so far. This person says, 10 to 15 years ago, if you were a girl and turned on mic, you would get kitchen jokes and threats. Yep. Just what I said. I had a girlfriends who were stalked by guys online over RuneScape. The cherry on top of that is that nobody cared. If you called it out, you were a feminazi bitch. Delusional take, 1000%. Back in the day, people did not treat this shit seriously. Like if some guy said, yeah, shut the fuck up, go back to the kitchen, I'm going to rape you tonight, I have your address, and all of this other crazy shit that is not okay, no one would care. But nowadays, if someone were to do that, there's going to be people, guys included, who will hold that person accountable and report him. So no, Poki, 10 to 15 years ago, it wasn't better to be a female streamer, a female gamer, whatever you guys want to call them. Anything, it was probably the worst time to be a female gamer back 10 to 15 years ago. Meanwhile, gaming online 15 years ago.
Tell me what the fucking news, huh? Tell me what the fucking news, huh? Tell me what the fucking news is. Shut the fuck up. You fucking pussy. Pussy. That's right. Yum, 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 yum. I eat dick all day. Yum, 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 yum. I eat dick.
You wanna fight dick? Did you eat dick, nigga? What a fucking homo.
Exactly.
You eat dick. Nigga said he eat dick. You a homo.
Good times. I miss those times. We need to bring this back.